In this video, I'm going to show you a combination of yoga postures and non-yoga exercises to strengthen your abs. These are beginner friendly. These are effective at strengthening your core with a lower risk of injury. I'll show you the proper technique, how to do them, how to modify what they're targeting, how to make sure you're doing them properly and not getting injured. By the end of this video, you'll have some pretty solid knowledge on how to do yoga to strengthen your core. So for our first series of postures and exercises, I'm going to have you get on your back, and we're going to go through some different ab strengtheners. First one I want to show you is called leg levers. This is not there's no yoga name for this because it's not a yoga pose, but it fits into a yoga flow pretty well. So for leg levers, I like to start separate with legs separated. So you're going to have one leg that goes straight out about 6 inches off the floor, and the other leg is going to go straight up. Now, depending on your back health, depending on your hamstring flexibility, that leg might go all the way up, pointing at the ceiling, or it might be closer to 45 degrees. So choose whatever depth you can do without pain. And then we're just going to alternate. Now, you can do these faster, where you're going 1 second per and just kind of keep it constantly moving. You could also do it where you're doing holds. So inhale, and then exhale and hold it. Inhale, switch. Exhale and hold. And you can do it like that as well. Now, as you're doing this, I would say lift your shoulders off the ground. Think about lifting your chest toward the ceiling. That's going to help you better engage your core. And you also want to try and stay active through your hips. So you're not just using your core, or you're even worse, using your back to do these. You want to think about squeezing your thigh toward your chest. And that's going to help you make sure that you're using your hip flexors properly. And this is a really nice way to do leg levers. Really good warm-up for getting your core warm. Also really good for strengthening your abs. So that's your first exercise. Go ahead and take a little break. From here, we're going to go into supine bicycle. And this is another non-yoga exercise, but really solid for strengthening your core. It's also pretty beginner-friendly. So very similar to the leg levers, except instead of one leg being up and the other leg being out, you're going to have that leg bent. So one leg extends straight forward, a few inches off the ground. The other leg is going to squeeze knee in toward your shoulder, letting the heel relax. Hands behind your neck. So you could go without actually doing any twist. You're just going to have the hands behind your neck, lifting your chest up toward the ceiling, and alternating legs. If you want to make this more challenging, you can work on bringing your elbow toward the opposing knee. So you don't actually need to touch the knee to the elbow, because most people are just going to kind of strain to get up there and do it in a way that isn't really beneficial. I would focus on, especially from a yoga perspective, I would focus on doing this in a way where it feels controlled. So if you're going to work on bringing the elbow up toward the knee, be able to hold it there for a breath. And if you can't hold it that high for a breath, then don't go that high. So we can do holds. We can also go back and forth with a nice slow controlled breathing. We could also hold there for a breath. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. The more you slow it down, the more you're going to focus on building core activation and getting those muscles to fire properly and building strength. Or if you want to make it a little more cardio, get your heart rate up, or just make it a little more sweaty, then you can move. I would recommend doing it slow and controlled and holding it. I think that's going to be better for your overall core strength, and also helping with the benefits of core strength, which are strengthening your back and relieving back pain. Now that we've done some stuff on your back, we're going to flip over, go onto your chest, and go through some basic yoga postures there. So first one we can do is a plank, and you can do this with your arms straight or with your arms bent. I'll show you how to do both. So with your arms straight, hands are going to go under your shoulders, toes are tucked. Also, you can start with your knees on the ground. This is a great way to building up to being able to do a plank. So if you can't do proper plank with your knees off the ground, you can start with your knees down, and this is a good way to practice. Here you want to think about lifting your belly button up toward your low back, pressing down through your hands, and kind of wrapping your biceps to face forward here. So make sure that your arms are straight. I see some people with their arms bent or slightly bent. You really want to lock out the arms here and then squeeze your triceps and wrap your inner elbows forward. Wrap your elbows to face back. From here, if you want, you can bring your knees off the ground. Make sure that you're not bringing your butt too high up in the air. Also, make sure that you're not letting your hips sag down. It's a good idea, if you don't know what your back looks like in a plank, to take a photo of yourself from the side, take a video, and then watch it later. With your neck, you should be able to move your head from side to side freely here. So if you can't do that, it's probably because your shoulders are up near the ears. So make sure that your shoulders are kind of pulled down away from the ears. With plank, I like to look slightly forward with my head. That way I get a little bit of neck strengthening. You can also look straight down. Just make sure you don't do something like this where you're looking out in front of you and letting your hips sag. So plank is a really good core exercise. Keep that belly button lifted, and it also helps if you want to make it even more challenging to squeeze your hands and your feet toward one another. So the hands squeeze down toward the feet squeeze toward the hands. As long as you have a non-slippery mat, then you should be able to do that. All right, go ahead and relax. So there's your plank. I would start at doing 30 seconds, work your way up to 60 seconds, and if you really want to challenge yourself, go beyond that. Quick break here, guys. Since you're watching this Yoga for Abs video, I figured you'd be interested in improving your sex life. So we do have a free 7-day sexual wellness challenge. You can sign up for that for free at the link in the description below. No credit card required when this video is finished. Let's get back to the tutorial. Second way to do a plank is a forearm plank, specifically for your abs. And by abs, I'm referring to your rectus abdominis, these this layer of abdominal muscle in the front part right here, or your six-pack muscles. So that forearm plank, you're going to have your forearms planted. In terms of yoga, we like to do forearm plank with the forearms parallel to one another. If you do non-yoga, you're going to have your forearms kind of in a V shape with your fingers interlaced like this. The problem with this, not that there's a problem, but it does take away from some of the shoulder mobility aspect of this. So for yoga purposes, you're going to do a forearm plank with your forearms parallel and pressing your wrists into the floor. This also helps you transition into other yoga exercises like a dolphin, like this. So forearm plank with your forearms parallel for yoga. Here you want to think about lifting your heart or your sternum toward the ceiling. So you're kind of spreading your shoulder blades a little bit here. And then your belly button is going to lift up a little bit higher than you would for a plank. So you don't want to have a straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So if you look at me now, this is what we don't want for a forearm plank. You actually do want to have your belly button lifted a little bit and slightly flexing or rounding your back. Forearm plank is a little more challenging than a plank with your arms straight. But for that reason, it is a bit more effective for your core. So I would consider this a more advanced variation of plank. Keep in mind, if you want to, you can also bring your knees down to work on building proper technique before going straight to knees lifted in a forearm plank. All right, go ahead and relax. One final exercise I want to show you from a prone position is a bird dog exercise. And this is a really good one for highlighting imbalances from left to right. It's also just a really good exercise for your core. So bird dog, you're going to set up like you did for a plank with your hands under your shoulders. Index fingers are parallel to one another and biceps wrap forward. From here, you're going to tuck your toes, and we're going to focus on keeping your core centered as you do this. So that's the big focus. That's what's going to help with really strengthening your core here. So without moving your core, without moving your hips, bring your left arm straight out in front of you, fingertips extending forward, and then arms squeezing up. And then again, without moving your hips at all, and you can even look back at your hips to make sure you don't move, lift your right leg and bring it straight back, press your heel back, flex your toes toward you. Make your body as long as possible from your foot all the way to your hand. Again, without changing your hips and core. So you don't want to offset and lift this leg way up in the air and then flare your chest out. You want your hips and your core should stay pretty much the same from that neutral tabletop position where you're centered, and then when you lift the legs up. And that's what helps you build stability and strength here. So this is one that you can hold for 30, 45, 60 seconds. Really good warm-up. If you want a lot of yoga exercises, if you go to like a power yoga class, we'll have you bring elbow to knee and exhale, and then inhale back out, and then exhale, knee to elbow. So that's pretty common. That's a good way to help strengthen your back too, as long as there's no pain in the back. So that's a nice variation. All right, we're going to switch sides. So try it again. Again, elbows wrapping to face back, biceps face forward, index fingers and thumbs forming a 90-degree angle without moving your hips. And even look back at your hips to make sure. Bring your right arm straight out, squeeze it up toward the ceiling. And again, without moving your hips, bring your left leg straight back, kick the heel back, flex the toes toward you. Try to lengthen from your left foot all the way through your extended right fingertips. And then to add a little more engagement to this, you can squeeze your left hand and your right knee toward one another, and you'll feel your abs work a little bit harder as you do this. Again, we can hold this. We can make this isometric, hold it for 30, 45, 60 seconds. You can also add kind of a dynamic flow to this, where you inhale to extend, and you exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to extend, bring the leg and the arm back out. Exhale, elbow to knee. All right. So if you're going to do the elbow to knee thing, I would do at least 5 of those. You can do 10 if you want, and make sure you do both sides. All right. This next exercise I show you is specifically for abs. It's probably the most effective basic yoga pose for abs. It's also really challenging. So I'm going to show you modifications for it to do your best to build up. But you do want to make sure that you are, most important part, I'll show you right now. How about I just show you? So this is called boat. Now for boat, the most important part of boat is keeping your chest upright and keeping a neutral spine. I see a lot of people do boat, and they want to get their legs up in the air, so they lift the legs, and then everything in the core kind of collapses, and they're rounding their chest like this, and that's not how you do boat. So it helps to initially, if you're new to this, put your hands kind of on either side of you, and you can use your hands to support yourself to keep your chest upright as you lift your legs. Now, the secret to making boat work is engaging your hip flexors. So it's these muscles in the fronts of your thighs that connect to your torso. Those muscles are going to be crucial for a proper boat pose. So it helps to do this little lift where you're lifting one leg up and then lifting the other leg up to kind of get those muscles working, to know what it feels like. And then when you're ready, bring one leg up, bring the other leg up. We're going to use the hands back here like this to help support ourselves at first, to make sure that we are staying upright through the chest. And then over time, maybe we can get to the point where the hands move a little bit, and then maybe the hands come out in front. This is where we ultimately want to be able to build to, with your arms out in front of you, with your hip flexors doing most of the work to stabilize, and then your back is flat, chest is upright. As you get more advanced, you can work on straightening the legs. That's going to take a significant level of core strength and hip mobility to be able to do. So for starters, I'm going to have you kind of just start with your shins going parallel to the ground and working on staying upright, keeping your back flat. So that's a really challenging one. That's boat. Really, really, really good for your back and your knees. If you struggle with it, that's a good sign that you should be doing it more. So that's one that I would say try to do at least a couple times per week. And if you want to get better, try to do it every other day. Okay, one final pose I want to show you here is a balancing pose. It's a really basic balancing pose, but really good for your core. Very similar to the supine bicycle that we did in terms of the muscle activation, but adding that element of balance. So I'm going to have you start on your right foot. Again, really basic, by the way. So start on your right foot. You're going to lift your left knee up to hip level to start. Drive down through your right leg. So you're really pushing your right hip toward the ground. By the way, if you're having issues with balance, if you notice that you're just falling over, go ahead and steady yourself. So actually put your right hand on a wall, hold on to something. If you're at home, find something that you can hold on to. If you're at the gym, find a piece of exercise equipment that you can hold on to, and then use that. Now with this left knee up at hip level, to really make this about your core, bring your left hand on top of your knee, and then push your knee into your hand and push your hand back into your thigh. So you're having this little battle here between your hand and your thigh, And this is going to help strengthen your hip flexors. You're also going to get a little bit more core activation here. And then really push down through that standing leg, get as tall as you possibly can, and you'll feel a lot more core activation. If you're struggling with the balance, again, you've got something there to help you with balance. This is one that's really good for your core. You can do this in 30 seconds, work your way up to 60 seconds or more. So switching sides, we're going to go to the left side. So standing on your left foot. Again, we want to stay up as tall as we can, really pressing down through that left foot so that you feel your left thigh, your left hip starting to work. Bring your right knee up to hip level. Push your right hand into your right thigh. Really have that little battle between the thigh and the hand here. So pushing down hard with the right hand, resisting with the thigh. That's what's going to get your abs to turn on. Getting as tall as you can. So not just standing here kind of lazy, but really getting upright through your body. Lifting your chest up, pressing that foot down to get taller. And then finding some slow, controlled breathing. If you want to add a little bit more ab engagement here, as you exhale, really squeeze your core. So flex your abs, pretend like someone's about to punch you in the stomach, and that's going to help you with engaging your core there. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of yoga postures to build ab strength. If you're looking for more workout tutorials like this, I have a whole series here for free on the Manful Yoga YouTube channel. It's called the Basic Yoga Stretches series. We also have more of these videos coming out in the coming weeks, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos when they go live. Leave a comment if you have some feedback or maybe a recommended topic or a question, and then like the video if you found it helpful. It really helps us and hopefully not too much work on your part. If you want to jump straight into the first tutorial from this Basic Yoga Stretches series, this one is on shoulders, something that all guys need. Go ahead and click over here above my left shoulder to watch that video now. I'll see you guys in the next video.